Hello and welcome to Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems. I'm Steve and Allen.
And I'm Erich McElroy. Hello.
Hello. So we made it past the 38 episode mark, which no one thought we would do because I thought we'd have a job by now.
Yes, I know. So if you're catching up on this, basically Steve and I have been doing these shows for over 30 episodes, and we're doing sort of a couple of weeks of recap of our favorite episodes. And so that's why if you were watching the previous one, we're wearing the same clothes. So because we just filmed these all in one go. So we did change our clothes on a daily basis. I don't want you to think we don't.
Is that what you did?
But,
I just kept the same kit on. Why don't you tell me this?
You did. But I did dress up because I'm not wearing a tie today, which I will be wearing through most of the clips you're going to see. But you will notice I'm wearing a nice shirt, and I've even got cufflinks on. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a real dime that is a cufflink because I'm an American. Oh, yeah, dime. And it is technically illegal to deface U.S. currency, but I don't live there anymore. So It doesn't really matter. But yes, so this is our chance to look back at some of our favorite bits over the last 30 weeks whilst we've been in lockdown and unable to communicate with the wider world. And so it's some things from the news that we found that we liked. There were problems that we allegedly tried to solve, but that was just a device to call the show something. We have solved no problems.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, it's a way of just dealing with people's comments and dealing with the news, and it's been fun to do. And I tell you what, and this is what I like about doing these look back at our favourite bits. It's reminded me some of the things we've learned along the weeks.
Yes,
like episode 1, we barely knew how to make a show, and now we're getting better at the tech. It's looking better, and some of the pre-recorded bits. And that's why my first clip for this show, one of my favourite memories, involved some actual on-location shooting. Nice. I went for a run when I started to try and get back into running because I was just gaining the pounds during the MASH report filming stage. I was just not... Week 1 of the MASH report stuff, I just lay down. If I wasn't filming the MASH report, I just lay down on the sofa and I had a bad time. And then we started to do this, and by the time this clip happened, I'd started running again. Yeah. And I was on a run, had an idea for a sketch, so just filmed something when I was out there. Yeah, everyone looked at me like I was weird, and I thought to myself, well, they'll understand what it's for when I turn it into a funny sketch, and realise they're not going to see that. The odds of anyone seeing any of this? No.
Yeah, no one. We know people have seen it because there have been comments on it. People have actually given us money for this, so some of those were in my family, but other strangers have enjoyed this.
Yeah, but not the ones who were staring at me going, what is this? Why is this guy getting his phone out now and filming? Well, you'll see what I filmed. Also, it involves some in-flat filming, which I started to get into, and I got a tripod for this. And even better, it's on the sports topic. And people might not know that we did a show together on a radio station that loved sport. It was very keen on sport.
Yep, and that was the name. What was the name of the station, Steve?
I think it was Love Sport.
That was it, yeah. And how much do we love sports, Steve? You and I?
I mean, a fondness, a vague acquaintance also aren't true. So we don't like sport, and yet somehow managed to do a show about, well, not really about sport, but on a sports station together. So it was nice when we started to do sport topics on this show, and I think this is the first one we did. Have a look. But over in America, they've been saying, look, things need to be opened for some very important reasons. Here's a clip.
We want to get our country open again. We want to have our sports leagues open. You want to watch sports. It's important. We miss sports.
Do we need to open up society to let people watch sport? No, we don't. We just need to start watching lockdown sports. For example, whenever you go into the supermarket, seeing people panic and try and stay at least 2 meters away from everyone else who's coming near them, that's like watching the Western version of Kabaddi. It's quite enjoyable. I personally enjoy placing bets on how long I can watch a runner for before they get stopped by armed police to ask why they're out of the house. There's another sport which I came up with that we could enjoy, pigeon racing. Now, I know you're not actually allowed pigeon racing. When they get together, they call it a meet, I think, and you're not allowed. It's one thing we're not allowed to do is meet. But you don't have to go to the pigeons can come to you. Next time you go out on a run, if you spot some pigeons, watch them race. I went for a run earlier and saw this exciting final.
And as we come into the final metre, it's Koo Stark in the lead with Flockstock and 2 Smoking Barrels bringing up the rear. Koo now starting to slow. He's not been beaten since the sitting on a ledger, but it's Flock that's having a great season. And he overtakes. It's all over. And they'll be dancing on Pigeon Street tonight.
Exciting stuff.
That was very exciting.
Yeah. And also, I've been inventing some sports as well to try and help out my fellow sports athletes. Is that what they're called? I have quite a long corridor in the flat that I've got a big mortgage on, and I also have some very cheap nylon slippy socks. Put those together, and what we've got there is human curling. Human curling, take 14. I've been polishing this floorway for quite a while now, so stay there. Take a run up from the kitchen, see if we can go for the record. It's quite a long corridor. There you go, another cracking clip that I added into our list of favourite moments from the last 30 episodes.
Yeah, little Steve classic there for you. Coming at you. Classic Steve from the last 30 episodes of Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems. Doing my American radio DJ voice. This is our top 40, guys.
It's getting weird now. It's getting creepy.
It's weird. It's a top 6 of each episode. Anyway, yes, this is our look back of the work that we have done over the last 3 or 4 months, and this is the only thing that we have to show for our lives currently. I should think about my family, I suppose. Anyway,
they're not watching.
They're not, we're comedians. This is our priority. And so, yeah, this is our chance to look back at what we've done while we've been in lockdown, some of our favorite clips. And some of the things, like this next one coming up, I'm going to do a little bit of a humble brag, Steve. I did a little bit of a satirical rework of a very famous TV show intro to make a point, to cover a story. And just in the last week or so, I noticed that Stephen Colbert of The Colbert Show in America, they basically did the same thing from a different angle. So basically,
we were ahead of the curve.
They were stealing. I think they've stolen.
Look, I think we can definitely take off the table the chance of anyone seeing this and nicking the idea. But I think it's actually genuinely good that because it's not the first time. There were some bits that we did that Bill Maher ended up doing something very similar to. And again, there's no nicking. It's just proof that we're doing stuff at least sometimes to the level that other people who get paid for this do.
Yep.
I cling to that, like the floating bit of boat that Kate Winslet was on, that just makes me think maybe we're not doomed.
Maybe we're not Leonardo DiCaprio slipping in the sea.
Maybe our careers are jacked.
Yep. So just realize that the clips that you're watching, including the one coming up right now, someone else was actually paid to write similar material.
Bear that in mind when there's coffees available.
Yeah. Enjoy. New York City officials are advising kinky Zoom parties, masks during sex amid COVID-19. Now, this is one of these things that you think this cannot be real, but I have downloaded it here from New York City Health. I've got it here. You can find it online. And Steve, they've got some sex tips for you.
Okay.
So you can have sex with the only people close to you. That's the first thing.
That's just physically true, isn't it?
Safest partner is someone you live with.
Yeah.
But obviously, I've been married a long time, so that's not happening.
Back to the masturbation.
But if you decide to go for the crowded sex, they tell you how to do it safely. Go with a consistent sex partner at the orgy, which again, not the point of the orgy. Pick a large, open, and ventilated space.
I wonder what the last word was going to be in that sentence.
Which is a good thing in the UK that the zoos have opened. You know where I'm going to be from Monday. Do say one area of concern, and this is actually in here, rimming. Which, if you don't know what it is, they define it as mouth on anus. Because if you go anus to anus, it doesn't work.
No.
Got to make sure you get the right way around.
Two ends of a magnet. If you try to, they repel.
Got to do it. It even says virus and feces may enter your mouth and could lead to infection. Yeah, no shit.
Well,
literally. Physical barriers are recommended, like walls. So a little glory hole action going on there, and or just masturbate together.
Yeah.
Which obviously we do every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 o'clock. Life has changed, especially in New York, and I just have to think, if it were redone now, it really would change that classic New York show, Sex and the City. Ha 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 ha. Wasn't that funny, Steve?
It is difficult laughing at your own stuff. But what we are picking bits that we enjoyed, or at least enjoyed
Yes,
making,
that's
I
right.
suppose.
I should have laughed harder.
We've heard it before. That's the difference.
Too much. It doesn't work that well. But we did enjoy that bit. Yeah, that's what this show is. This is our look back at the things that we've liked over the last 15 weeks.
And I'm so glad we're doing this because some of the clips took hours. When I started to try and act both parts in a sketch and film from different angles, I'd never edited video before this. And then I ended up, there's one which I might include in a later one, you know, the Gone with the Wind thing where I edited myself into the film.
Yes.
Not very well, but
Yeah.
I had no idea how to do that before. So some of these clips took absolutely hours to do, so it's nice to be able to play them out again. This one took hours, but not in the same way. So I wrote it, and it basically, there's different treatments that we do. Sometimes it's like acting, sometimes it's parody. There's often just playing a clip and responding to it.
Yeah.
But it took me hours of practicing this script. It's not often that I need to get things kind of word perfect. So that's why we just ramble and knock the jokes back and forth. I practiced this all day in the shower. I was doing this, and that's a strange place to be saying the words that you're about to see. I did it when I was walking back from one of the runs. I do hope no one overheard me. Also, there's a chance the neighbours heard as well. In fact, the neighbours on that side have moved out since then, and I wonder if this was part of that. So if you don't know,
because I know what's coming.
Yeah, Alex Jones. I genuinely subscribe to his podcast, the Infowar thing. It's I can't listen to it all because it's flipping huge, but it's amazing to see the spiral of thought that he goes down. So this is my effectively tribute to Alex Jones because there was a clip on Twitter that made him go viral. It all gets explained. Enjoy. Alex Jones said something about what he would do to survive post-coronavirus crisis, and he had a very interesting choice of words. Let's have a look.
You know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. I'll eat my neighbors. See, my superpower is being honest. I'll eat your ass. I will.
Yep, I believe him. Because when I first saw that clip, I thought he was saying, you know, that he would use them as a source of food. But now I realize what he's effectively saying is, like, I will eat your ass. If I need food, I will debase myself sexually. I will eat your ass. I will go to town on your butthole. I will worship at Satan's great brown mouth. I will do whatever it takes. I've checked. I've got supplies. I've extrapolated. I don't need to do this. Maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to go out. You buy me dinner. I eat your ass. Now, my daughters will not starve. I ain't gonna starve. I'm carrying so much extra weight. I don't even need to think about this. But I do think about this. I think about it a lot. Think about you and me. Think about eating your ass. My superpower is honesty. I'm honest. Not with myself about my sexual proclivities, but I will eat your ass. And the people I feel sorry for in all of this are his neighbours. Imagine, right? You're just minding your own business, flicking through Twitter on the weekend. Jonathan, that man at number 5 is talking about eating your ass again. There you go. One of the clips that I'm apparently proud of.
That's the thing. So somebody's going to be watching this going, that's what he chose to highlight?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we chose. So yeah, thanks for joining us. I think some of the clips that we've had in the show over the last few weeks, I mean, you know, we want to be funny. That's the goal of doing this. That's why we put comics in the title of the show, which maybe was a little bit brave of us. But you know, we want to do some satire as well. Want to make a point every now and then. So this next clip coming up, the reason what I'm doing is I'm saying that I got a little bit ranty, not ranty at the beginning of it, but I was doing a long setup on purpose, not because I hadn't edited my script, but because I wanted to do satire, and I wanted to make that extra point, and the way to do that was to do the long build-up. So there's this long build-up here, but then I quite enjoyed the payoff. So that's why I've selected this from the plethora of choices from our last 30 episodes. I believe in complete and utter free speech. I don't think that you should have hate speech legislation. I think, you just can't censor what people say. But I'm not one of those people who, whilst I'm for free speech, I do think it's okay to deplatform people, because people don't have a constitutional right to be on Twitter, or in this case, to be on HBO Max, taking the Gone with the Wind example. A lot of people have been getting really wound up about that they're coming for this film. You know what? They're coming for Gone with the Wind. And you know what? I haven't watched it, and I wasn't gonna, but it's gone now. Because I'll be honest with you, I've never sat through it. It's really long. It's old. It's boring. Just leave it there. I mean, if that's what our racists are doing, let them stay busy with that. But the hyperbole around them taking down the film was insane. But of course, we saw this headline today, Gone with the Wind. Oh, it's likely to be back on HBO Max next week with an African-American scholar explaining some of the things. So that's all HBO wanted to do, was take it down, provide some historical context, and put somebody on there who could talk about the Black experience, either watching the film or put it in period context. Now, of course, the people were probably outraged about that. They're like, I don't want somebody ruining the film, talking about it, unless it's Morgan Freeman. I mean, he can say anything. I mean, if they get Morgan Freeman to do it, I don't really care. It's fine. But you know what? They're saying it might be back on next week. It might not be back on next week. So I bet there's a lot of people out there going, I can't believe they've taken this away from me. I can't believe, you know what? Unless, of course, I go on Amazon Prime, and it's available to watch on Amazon Prime. Okay. Never. Well, that's not a good. What if they take it off Amazon Prime? Well, I mean, what am I going to do then? Oh, I could go on YouTube. Okay, it's available to rent on YouTube. So, but still, that's not good enough. What if they take off YouTube? Then you've got Google Play. Which is basically YouTube, I guess, but just a different brand. But still, I mean, I guess, what if I'm old school? What if I want to see the classics actually in the cinema? Where am I going to go? Where is it going to show it? Oh, that's where. Okay. Satire, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah.
That's what we do.
Look up the dictionary, you'll find that clip. All right. Right?
Do they put clips in dictionaries these days? Then maybe they do. They're all online. And so are we.
I look at.
So are we these days, because this is why we're here. We ain't got no jobs no more. All the work disappeared, so we started doing these. It's a mixture of comedy, talking about the news, pretending to solve problems, and asking for money, because there's a link down the bottom. And hey, look, none of us have starved yet. Clearly. Look at
No, the opposite of starved. It's definitely one of those crises that now it's become a crisis of confidence, and that is confidence in my body image.
Yeah, because I've not left the house in so long. So for the next clip, because we're including clips, some of our favourite bits of the last 30 episodes. We did 30 episodes of this. That's more than like a series of Star Trek. In fact, what we should have done at the end of episode 30 is do half a joke and then just have the to be continued dun 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 for about 5 hours. So maybe we'll do that next time. But we're going through some of our favourite clips, and for this one, a little bit of prop work. Indeed, I'm holding part of it in my hand, because for some of the sketches that I was trying to film around the house, I only had access to things that I had in the flat.
Right.
So
you couldn't leave.
Yeah, couldn't leave. I mean, you're allowed to go to shops, but come on, I'm not going to go and queue up outside Sainsbury's for 5 days and buy props. Although for one episode, I actually did go and get food, but shops were more open by then. For this one, using the things I had around the house, including stuff that had been delivered to me, I managed to rip up various things to make some of the stuff used in this, because we started to think about the future of getting comedy back. Turns out, spoiler alert, didn't happen. We're not allowed to do live gigs yet. But back when we thought it might happen, this is my take on what it was going to be like. Enjoy. Although in foreign countries, they've managed to work out how to get their sports back, and I think we could learn a lesson.
Baseball season is underway in South Korea, but no fans are there to see it.
Posters posing as fans filled the seats for yesterday's opening game of the KBO League.
Posters instead of sports fans. Nice. And you know what? I'm in favour of it, because it looks better than an empty stadium. Okay, it does mean if we do that over here with our football, the football crowd will not be cheering, not be celebrating, not be offering any support. But that's exactly what you're used to if you're a supporter of insert name of football team you don't like. Hey-o! I think that's how sports jokes work, yeah?
That's how sports work. Yep, definitely. If we understood any sports or teams, we could have made that hilarious.
Yeah, but then again, I don't know a lot about sport, which is exactly the thing that name a football team don't do. Boo! But this is how much I know about it. But I think we as comedians could learn from it, because at the moment there is no stand-up comedy circuit because there are no audiences, and we keep trying to do these gigs at home, but they don't really work because we don't have a replacement audience. So why don't we nick that idea from them and have audience members that are drawn on? I tried it earlier on. See how this gig went.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome to the stage Mr. Steve N Allen?
Hello! Oh, it's good to be here. I'll tell you what, I've missed doing stand-up comedy like you wouldn't believe. But we are back, and we've got an audience in. Are you well? I hope so, otherwise you shouldn't have been allowed in. I think we're checking for that these days. But, right, I'm your MC for the evening, Mr. Steve and Allen. Let's see if we can meet the front row. Hello, first up, the lady there. Where are you from? Is it a tree? All right, seat yourself. Next to the guy along there, hello, thanks very much for coming. What's your name? Is it Russell? Because you're a newspaper. Next one along, hello, sir. Thank you very much for coming along tonight. And where do you work? Is it in an office, I presume? Because you photocopy a paper, aren't you? And, oh, finally, hello. Oh, God, that's going to be a thing, isn't it? Christ. Well, I mean, if you're enjoying it, I'd say tell your face, but we're not going to be able to tell. Hey. There we go, another clip. Some of our favourites from the last 30 episodes of Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems, and that's one that I put forwards.
Yes.
Like it or not.
I think it was well put. Well put, Stephen.
Thank you.
Good job. And I don't mean that to sound as condescending as it feels like when I'm saying it.
Good that you did mean it condescendingly. I think it fits.
I didn't. That was really, really good.
Oh, bless me.
You've come so far.
Well, that's the weird thing that I've learned by putting this show together. We really have. Like, episode 1 was effectively a mess. We had some tech fails. But these days, I've watched people doing some clips on Twitter, and we're getting better at editing. Touch wood, because at some point we'll have an absolute tech fail. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is where we've been looking back at our life in quarantine. This has been our way of doing comedy, and it's been incredible because it has been well supported. I mean, we've actually had people watch, which I think might have surprised us. Let's be honest, it surprised us. And we've had people give us money, which shouldn't surprise us. So if you want to join those good people, please do. The link is there, and we can keep going at these things. Now, obviously, if you're just noticing, I do have the American accent, the dimes on my cufflinks, just in case I ever forget. Oh yeah, American. But I have been in the UK for the last 20 years. Actually, I think one of the episodes we celebrated my 20th anniversary.
We did.
In the UK. We did. We covered that as a story because it was 18th of June 2000 that I came to the United Kingdom, and you ain't been able to get rid of me yet. And but obviously things have changed. The UK's attitude towards immigrants has really, really gone downhill.
And it's not all your fault, but yeah.
It's not all my fault. It's Tony Blair's fault. The open group. Yeah, anyway. So this is this next clip is about me celebrating the fact that I've been welcomed to this country in such constant open arms, except for that woman from Bermondsey, that guy in Devon, and there was somebody in Cumbria. There's been a few people that haven't been excited that I'm here, let's be honest. But at least I know I've got the government's backing now.
There are a few people in the comments section as well, but I didn't want to bring that up.
They're always there. And this week we saw Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, has rolled out a new points-based immigration system. We've got the headline, so that makes it true. New immigration point system. Migrants will need 70 points to be eligible to come and work in the United Kingdom. And it's basically to welcome the best and brightest global talent. Now, I came before the points-based system, so I guess it's debatable about whether or not you got the best and brightest of the world's global talent.
We'll hide those comments out of the little box there.
Yeah. We're going to get a whole different set of comments now, aren't we? So under the new rules, anybody who wants to live and work here is going to have this threshold of 70 points. So I had a look, Steve, because I thought, well, I wanted to look back and see, would I now qualify under these current skill sets?
Okay.
And they do have set jobs that they're looking for. Comedian is not one of the jobs, apparently, that Britain is requiring at the moment, partly because why would they require a comedian? We can't work anywhere other than here. So again, throw us a drink. But I thought, well, the closest was actor. But the minimum salary, because they have minimum salary levels you have to be offered to get in, is £32,000 as an actor. That's not happening. Especially because most actors can't even work right now. They're also hustling on the internet, I'm guessing, or doing internet TV shows. I don't. It's not happening very much. So I thought, you know what? I want to apply my initial job skills that got me here, which was working as an administrator for university against the new points-based system to see if I would have qualified. So, Steve, I would like you to help me play Who Wants to Be a British Citizen? You ready?
Yep.
Keep it scored for me?
I'll be the scoreboard person.
Yeah, the job I had was working as a U.S. student loan financial aid administrator. So I used to help Americans access their student loans in the U.K. at a university. And even then I was trying to tell jokes, Steve. And I used to tell some cracking student loan jokes.
Oh, but they appreciated that.
Yeah, all right, here's a good one. What happens when you take your EFC off the SAR and you can't find your COA?
I don't know.
You can't get an ICER. That's funny.
Yep.
And factually correct. You just don't know it. You just don't appreciate the fine craft of U.S. student loan games.
Funny because it's true.
It's exactly right. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to get myself. So these are the actual categories that would add up the points to see if I can get to the magic of 70. And I'm hoping, because I really don't want to go back to America, because this is just, I can't. Okay, so first category. I need a job offer from an approved sponsor, and that's worth 20 points. Now, my job sponsor was a university, so I'm sure a university would qualify. So, Steve, can I have 20 points for that?
Was it a proper university or one that used to be a poly?
No, it was a real university.
Okay, there you go.
It gave American degrees in London. I said that before you gave me the points, so I need to keep them. The next one is, is it a job that I have the appropriate skill level for? And I'd done the job at different universities for about 4 or 5 years before I came to the UK. That was on my CV. I'd been living abroad already. There was an international aspect. That category is worth 20 points. Steve, what do you think?
I'll give you the points, yeah.
40 points.
Mark's giving you the points. Chris is giving you as well, yeah.
I'm halfway there. 70 points is all I need. Okay, the next category, English language skills. I need English language skills at a level B1. Now, I know I speak American. I do say zebra now. That's worth 10 points. Steve, what do you think?
Quick question. What's the really light metal that's turned into foil that you can wrap around food?
Aluminum? Shit. All right, fine, fair enough. The next one is worth 10 to 20 points if I had a PhD. I don't have a PhD. Okay. Now we're getting there. Okay, the next one is salary, right? You have to have a minimum level of starting salary. Now, if my starting salary was £25,600, I'd automatically get 20 points. Okay. That would definitely push me over the top. Starting salary of 23,000 will get me 10 points, and a salary of less than 23,000 basically gets me no points. My initial starting salary when I came to this country exactly 20 years ago was £21,000.
Oh, so it has to be over 20 to get.
It has to be £20,000. $20,400 you get nothing, and £23,000 you get 10 points. No, come on. So what is it? Add me up, Steve. Do I get it? Do I make it?
Overall.
Those were the days, Steve.
Yeah,
those were the days.
Good times, good times. Do you know, I've enjoyed doing a lot of these clips, and this is why I'm enjoying doing the show, putting forward some of our favourite clips from the last 30 episodes. The different ways that we treat the topics started to expand. And there's one thing that I did once, which I only did once, never did it again. It was basically, I woke up, heard this terrible news story about bald men, which obviously impacted my people. Yeah. And my treatment for it was effectively, remember that film The Artist that did well at the Oscars?
Yes.
Doing silent comedy in an era when silent films weren't particularly in. Well, we only flipping did some of that during Comics in Quarantine as well.
What a diversity of a range of genre.
That makes it sound better than it is, but you judge. Have a look. Front page of the Daily Star. Corona shocker. Because every front page has to have the word shocker on it. Baldies are hit hardest by virus. This is what you don't realise. This is our life all the time. Knowing that we are higher risk, there are always thoughts in our head, like when I was leaving the house earlier. This is what happened. There we go then. Another clip that I enjoyed making that. Whether you enjoyed watching it or not, that's not what this show's about, is it? I don't know.
Well, I think we can enjoy sharing these things. We get enjoyment on both ends, as I like to say.
Oh dear, I bet you do. It's true.
I didn't really. That's not what I meant.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel.
So I mean, this is what we're doing with this, is that it has been fun, even though there's ups and downs over 30 shows. You know, we had some tech fails, and we all had difficult times during lockdown. But sitting here doing like whatever this is, and we still don't know what to call it, web show, streaming something. I
think TV show.
Yeah, it's not on a TV,
It can be. We had people send us in pictures of them watching on TVs, and one of those was in Canada. So there you go.
I mean, isn't that amazing that this somehow we managed to knock together this two-person TV type show? It gets streamed all over the world, and it was put on an actual TV in Canada. And all of this, I think this is what no one ever realizes, all of this technology is going through my Huawei router. So if we upset them, we are out of town.
Love their work.
Yeah. The reason I bought a Huawei router is because at least they're watching.
That's true. It's always Huawei. And you know what? We take, I don't know what their currency is in Beijing. Yen? What do they have?
No.
We'll take whatever you got. So yes. So we'll be back again. We've got some more recaps coming up before we turn to the live shows. So if you've enjoyed it, please share it, subscribe, and do that kind of thing. If you did enjoy it as well, you can chuck us a drink, which is very important, really, because that's what's keeping us alive and appreciated. But yeah, that's been some of our favorite bits.
Yeah, we'll do another one Tuesday, 9 o'clock. Get yourself sat down, get yourself a drink, and we'll do all this all over again. Till then.
Bye.